it's time now for some real education. Do you remember what real education was before all this happened? Look, how many times at the Dr. Duke Show in the last 2.5 years, how often do you hear school teachers, school administrators, all these educrats, all these superintendents, when do they ever, just one time, have we been able to do a show where the administration of a school says, look, we're concerned that your kids can't read. Here's how we're going to fix it. We're really mad that your kids can't do math. Here's the math we're going to teach your kids. No. It's all of this radical, inane socialist policy. So here is what real education looks like. This is Education Week Humanist Education Week on the Dr. Duke Show. By that I mean we're looking at some of the great humanist educators of the last, I'm sticking to the late medieval period and the early Renaissance period. Today we're starting with one of the first great Western humanists, Francesco Petrarca, who's known primarily as a poet, one of the great first poets to kick off the Renaissance in Italy, immediately following Dante. Dante was dead by 1321. Petrarch was born in 1304. He was a humanist, he was a scholar, he was a pedagogue, he was a translator, he was a remarkable, literally a Renaissance man, a man capable of doing all sorts of wonderful things. And he wrote, it seems, a lot about education as well, because this first generation of Italian Renaissance scholars understood the power of education and what it could do, how education, serious classical education, could bring people closer to God than almost anything else you could teach kids. And so take a look at some of our quotes from Francesco Petrarca. Quote, 5 enemies of peace inhabit with us: avarice, ambition, envy, anger, and pride. If these were to be banished, we should infallibly enjoy perpetual peace. We hold the key to peace in our own practice of virtue. How about this quote? The aged love what is practical, while impetuous youth longs only for what is dazzling. Isn't that the culture we live in? The older we get, I can certainly say it's true of all of us here at the Dr. Duke Show, the older we get, the more practicality we want with these matters. But it's the children who want the dazzling. That's why it's so easily able to dazzle young minds with rapper bling and celebutard glitter, right? Education transforms kids from little squirrels who bright, shiny object to actual thinkers. Well, at least they used to before critical race theory. How about this quote from Francesco Petrarca? It is better to be raised to a throne than to be born to one. Fortune bestows the one, merit obtains the other. Meritocracy. When the humanist movement in Western culture got born in the Renaissance, they were emphasizing merit over dumb luck. And what do the socialists of today want? They want to flip it back to that, right? Get rid of merit and let everybody have the same fate. How about this quote? Man has no greater enemy than himself. Man is constantly getting in his own way. All of these utopian answers to problems that aren't really problems. That's what gets people in trouble. Man has no greater enemy than himself. And finally, quote, a shortcut to riches is to subtract from our desires. Maybe the key is not to worry about how much we want, but to actually subtract what it is we think we want. To expect less, ask for less, live with less, need less, and you don't have to worry about having too much.